I did a clean install of Windows 10 on this machine, and I did a lot of research before I did it. I wanted to make sure the thing was going to work right. I didn't want to throw my money away. It's an older machine, but it was a very high-end machine when I bought it. It had all the big hard disks, a lot of memory, fast processor, all that. So I went out and I looked at the Microsoft website. I looked at nVidia. I looked at all the support stuff that I needed to make sure it would work. And I went ahead and installed Windows 10. Here's some of my experience and my thoughts on the experience. Hope you find it interesting. This is the hardware on the machine. The machine's now 10. It started out as XP, but it was a high-end HP machine, so I figured it would probably upgrade pretty easily given the specs. But the processor is a Core Quad CPU. It's a QB400, 2.66 gigahertz. I think they only require 1 gigahertz. Installed RAM is 4 gigabytes more than is required. 32-bit, I installed it as 32-bit, no big deal. Computer name, work group, all that stuff. So anyway, the hardware is more than adequate to run Windows 10, at least so they say. On the Microsoft.com answers site, you can see the GeForce GT220 is supported. Driver available through nVidia. So Microsoft is saying it. Also, if you run Microsoft's little program, it's really geared for Windows 8, but they say it has the same requirements for 10. So if you run it, it will tell you if your system is compatible, and mine shows up as compatible. So here's the Microsoft answer. The GeForce GT220 is supported under Windows 10. So as you can see up here, maybe you can read it, the NVIDIA CustomerHelp.com page shows that the NVIDIA GeForce GT220 is supported under Windows 10. In fact, it shows it 3 times, and then it shows another version, the 220M. So clearly, NVIDIA is saying that the graphics card is supported. Even after all the checking I did to ensure the system was compatible, when I would start the machine after I finished Windows 10, it was a clean install, by the way, I would get unable to load NVIDIA display driver. You must update the video BIOS for NVIDIA GeForce GT220. And I went out to NVIDIA and installed all their latest stuff. Did not work, did not work, did not work. I won't go through all the painful details, but I went to Microsoft. This is a Microsoft thing. When I would click on this, it would take me to the HP homepage, which didn't do me any good. When I searched through HP, I found the computer. The HP said the computer, they don't have any support for it. And it's like, yeah, okay, no support for the graphics card, nothing, no drivers to download. The notification would take me over to the generic HP website, not specifically to my machine or anything, and not to anything with the GeForce GT220. And so if you get underneath here, there's no drivers listed for this machine anymore. I guess it's end of support or something, but you click on all this stuff, it has you install all this software, it goes through your machine, and then it comes back and says no drivers found. And there's just no drivers to install manually. You have to get them off of third-party sites, which I won't do. So bottom line is HP left me hanging, and so then I went to nVidia. This is my email account. You can see down here I started with Microsoft. They were no help at all. And then I went through several iterations of nVidia. They had me download some utilities and run those to find out what was going on. And overall they did a pretty good job up until about this note right here. And then they had me download a utility which told them which company made the card. Now I'll show you the card in a minute, but there's nowhere on the card that says anything about anybody other than nVidia. But it turns out it's an MSI made card. And after they found that it was MSI, they said, oh, sorry, you have to go to MSI for support. MSI discontinued their version of the GT220, and they don't support it any longer. So guess what? All that promise from Microsoft, from nVidia, from everybody else that this card is supported, just falls through. So if you have an MSI version of it, it's gone. But when you buy the computer, do you know that it's MSI? No, you do not. There's no indication of it. It was not anywhere on my HP materials when I bought my HP. It's nowhere on the card itself. Even if you open the computer up, which would void the warranty, there's no indication that this card out there is anything other than nVidia. So everybody got their cut of the money. HP got their computer sale, nVidia got their cut of the chip sale, and MSI got their sale to HP, and Microsoft sold me Windows 10. But I feel like I've been scammed, frankly. Everybody's passed the buck, passed the responsibility around until I can't do anything about it. The end solution was to buy a new card. This is the GT220 that was in the computer. You can see the HP part number down here. And I'll show you a close-up on it, but I don't see anywhere where it says it's MSI. And in fact, you couldn't know, because if you open the box, you'd void the warranty on the computer. Nowhere on this board do I see anything but nVidia, like right there. I don't see anywhere where it says MSI. There's the fan and the various part numbers and what have you. All the chips say nVidia on them. Yeah, nVidia there, HP part number, whatever that is. I don't know what that means, but again, this is buried inside the box when I bought it. It was part of the whole setup, so could not open the box to look at it. But you know, here I'm told that I'm getting an nVidia graphics card, and in fact I'm getting an MSI graphics card, which has a whole different support schedule than other versions of the GT220, so not happy at all. So what's special about Windows 10? Well, this is the opening screen. It looks pretty much like XP or 7, and it's got this little thing down here. It's a search window, Cortana, and that's pretty worthless. Most of the time it doesn't come up with any kind of good answer. I'd rather go to Google and search, but it will tell you what's on your desktop versus, you know, on the web. So it'll automatically search both your computer and the web at the same time. I don't really like that feature, to be honest. As you can see up here, it pretty much looks a lot like your desktop for XP would look. You can click on this thing, and then you get this set of programs. This is like your start, when you click your start menu, and you get all the different program options. And then it's got some other things like control panel and whatever. So on XP or 7, you'd have this panel pop up here, and on one side would be things like My Computer Network and so on. On the other side would be your list of programs. Well, this is just a re-swizzle of that, and except your programs show up over here in big icons, and over here are the list of things like the top one's control panel, and then recently used programs. So it's frankly, it's just a re-swizzle of the same stuff as before, and I don't really find it very useful. You can click down here on all applications, and it gives you a list of all the applications you have. Again, I don't find it very convenient. I think the old way of doing it was better, and I don't like having to do the scroll bar thing. But yeah, fine. So overall, I see it as not too much different than XP look and feel, and it does have the bells and windows that frankly I don't really find useful, and I don't find very functional. Here's an example of how worthless this thing is. I did a search while I was making this video. Over on this side, I got a pop-up notification saying my new video card had crashed and restarted successfully. And when I tried to see more information on it, it had disappeared. So I came over here and typed in notifications to see where I could go find the history of that. And it doesn't give me anything useful. So even though notifications is a window function, it's called notifications. If I mouse over here, it says no new notifications. I type in notifications here, and it can't even find its own stuff. So completely worthless. So if you're thinking about doing a Windows 10 clean install, or like I did, or Windows 10 upgrade, here are my thoughts on my Windows 10 clean install. The issues I had, well, the MS compatibility check was not 100%. Told me my machine was compatible when the graphics card was not. nVidia supported graphics card, well, that's not 100% either, so you don't really know until you get it. It's kind of gambling on that. HP was no help. I had an HP computer, and MSI, well, they had a short support window on their graphics card on their version of the GT220. The benefits of Windows 10, well, it's not as bad as Windows 8, and it looks and functions a lot like XP and 7. The Windows 10 downside, well, there's compatibility issues as I've already experienced. We've had no significant upgrade in function. There's some real resource wasters. Cortana is a good example. Just doesn't do anything I want it to do, so it's buried in the system, and if I can shut it down, if I can figure out how to shut it down, I will. They downgraded some of the functions that come with it, like Windows Movie Maker. I'm now using a downgraded version of Windows Movie Maker because the newest one looks more like a toy. It doesn't really do very much. I'm getting random freezes, so yeah, that's an issue. And it's well known that Windows 10 comes with a lot of spyware, and that should be deactivated where possible, but you have to spend a lot of time. There's a lot of videos out there on how to do it. Last I heard, there's about 12 different places where you have to go in and deactivate their snoopware. So Windows 10, my opinion, well, it's just not worth it. It's not ready for prime time. It shouldn't be doing things like freezing and so forth. I don't really find any worthwhile improvements in it over XP or 7. I don't like the spyware. I never do and never will. So my advice is, if you have XP, they're going to force you to upgrade. You're not going to have a choice. You can hang on as long as possible, but you know that window's closing really quickly. If you have Windows 7, hang on as long as possible. That window might be open for a year or two, who knows. So that's it, my Windows 10 experience. I hope you found it interesting and useful. And even as I'm editing this, this Movie Maker is locked up. You see, I can't do anything up here. I tried to change the position of the bar, try to change what's active, and nothing. So this is very typical. I get total freeze-ups of the computer where I have to do a power off, but this type of thing is just really common. Well, I'm back to editing, and I'm moving the mouse around, and nothing's happening. It's completely dead. Control, Alt, Delete. Nothing. So here goes the hard power off, and this has really just become the norm. And it's not even like a simple reset of the power button. It's like you literally hold the power button down until the thing shuts itself off. So it's just a hard crash.